permanently glow up by becoming that girl, the girl that no matter what room she's in, she stands out. She's not the skinniest, the biggest, the prettiest, the youngest, whatever you can think of, she's not that. She is not the most revealing, but what she is she is effortless, sophisticated, friendly. In every room she goes in, she stands out. We're gonna go over her secrets on being that girl so that you can become the best version of yourself. Not a copy and paste of whatever you can imagine is the perfect girl or is that girl or is the perfect glow up example. You are going to become the best version of yourself. First, stay hydrated. Now, building your high maintenance routine to be low maintenance on a daily basis is the first thing that you can do to start implementing these changes slowly and affordably. One of the easiest things that I find to do is if you don't want to be wearing mascara on a regular basis, or you kind of want to wake up looking a certain way, or you want to go to a workout a certain way, but you don't want to be wearing mascara and it running down your face in the middle of your workout, is lifting and dyeing your lashes. If you are not a DIY girl in your DIY girl era and you don't think you can do this safely, then go see a professional that can lift and dye your lashes. These are mine right here. They're a little bit wild in right now, but that aside, you can go to a professional that will give you that perfect look. Now, if you are trying to do this on a budget, you are going to get a DIY kit to do it at home. It's going to be a lash lift kit and a dye kit. They might come together, they might come separately, but I will link down below my Amazon storefront with the whole entire thing of all the items I use within this video. You'll be surprised, even if you have shorter lashes, doing the lift makes a big difference on how long you think your lashes are. The lash dye makes the lashes darker. If you are blessed with black lashes, then I am very happy for you. I am not. I am naturally a more dirty blonde girl, and my lashes are definitely a light brown. Same thing with my brows, and so they kind of blend into the background and don't stand out. And doing that lash lift and the dye allows it to stand out without even having to put mascara on. And then if you want to add mascara, it does enhance the mascara look. Back to the idea of the brows. If you don't dye your hair, you can skip this step, but if you do dye your hair, I promise you, the glow up you need to hear is dye your roots more. I know they say don't kill your hair, don't over dye it, whatever it is, but having those grown out roots for way too long is not the look. So I got on a more consistent routine of dyeing my roots so that I hardly ever have overgrown roots. I sometimes do, we all have our moments. I just dyed mine, so my scalp's looking a little red. And if you do red, keep in mind you're probably gonna have to dye it more than other colors. But no matter what color you're doing, have a routine for your hair. If you cannot afford to go to the salon regularly, maybe you should switch to figure out an at-home method that you can do more consistently so your hair looks like it would naturally. And if you want to enhance that natural look even more, I recommend dyeing your brows in addition to dyeing your roots. And I actually keep a little bit of dye extra left over between my dyes because I find that I have to dye my brows a lot more than I have to dye my roots because you're washing and exfoliating your face, and that takes off the brow dye a lot quicker. So keep that dye that you can do to be able to do your brows more regularly and have it matching the rest of your hair. It is shocking how often people ask me, is my hair natural? And this color, I'm pretty sure no one makes it naturally because natural red hair is more of an orange color, but people will stop me in the street to ask about my hair. I think that is one of the #1 things that people stop me for is they stop me to say, I love your hair. Oh my God, I love your hair. Is it real? Who does your hair? What color is that? And I also try during my high maintenance routine to try to implement other things at the same time. So while I am dyeing my roots and dyeing my brows, I whiten my teeth. And yes, I have a gap, and that might be one of those obvious things that you think of in a glow up that I should fix or change. People have their mixed opinions on it. I did a whole entire video on whether I was going to change or not change my teeth, so you can watch that down below. I'm still debating on it, but that point aside, I still think it's important to keep those teeth clean and keep them whitened. So when I do these high maintenance routines, I try to throw on a whitening strip, and I also have a little trick for you is cut them in half. They are way too tall, wide, whichever way you want to call them. So you can cut them in half and it'll still cover most likely the length of your teeth, and then less of it is on the bottom parts of your teeth and under, because you can start to grow sensitivity if you're whitening your teeth too much. So you might as well cut those strips in half, cut your chance of having as much sensitivity, and also you get more bang for your buck on the whitening. And then you can definitely implement a whole ton of things within this high maintenance routine, but one of the other big ones I noticed besides hair and teeth is nails. You can barely see them on camera because I have a nude color on. I am actually allergic to acrylics and gels, so personally for you, I'm gonna say most likely your best route is doing gels or acrylic nails because they last a lot longer, they're a lot stronger, it's easy to have a clean look routinely, but most likely you're gonna have to go inside of a nail salon to get it done, and it can be kind of an expensive thing to keep up with regularly, so maybe you'll learn how to do them at home, but if you're like me and you're allergic, or maybe you're on more of a strict budget, then I recommend press-on nails. I don't recommend doing regular nail polish. I did it for a couple weeks now. I just put my press-ons back on. I was trying to give my nails a little bit of a break. And even if you paint your nails every single day, which you're not going to, I promise you, you're not going to. Even if you are, they're going to be a little bit chipped at some point, and that's just not a look. It actually makes you look kind of like young and not put together and a little rough. I know, I was just trying to do it. You just can't keep up with it. But when it comes to press-ons and the other options, it's a lot more long-term as long as you keep up with doing them. And when it comes to press-ons, if you want a few little quick tips, the biggest thing is the prep. If you prep your nails properly, they will stay on pretty decently long and well. Now the other thing is sizing. Do not put too big of a press-on your nail because it's gonna look like bulgy and weird and look fake. So try to get as close to your nail size as possible. And then my last recommendation to you for them is to file the edges and shape them a little bit so it's not that basic shape that comes out of the box. And if you want some more information on press-ons or tips, let me know. Maybe I'll do a short form video on my tips and tricks on making them look better because I've been doing them for a while now and I've definitely learned a lot. They're looking a lot better with time, but overall, like I said, just having a high maintenance routine that makes you look low maintenance on a daily basis, look clean and put together without really having to put that much effort in. You just have to dedicate a day or two throughout the month that allows you to be able to keep up with your roots, keep up with your brows and your lashes and your nails. Now, before we get into the daily basis stuff, I need to take a break and drink something. So much better. It's really warm in here. I turned off the fan and started filming, so I'm a little hot. I'm a little sweaty, but let's get into those daily habits. And one of the biggest, most important ones, if I cannot tell you this enough, and that is dress up. And no, I do not mean dress a specific way and only that way, only that style. I mean dress up from your existing style. It's about putting effort in and elevating your own style. You do not have to wear a dress every day. I love that look. I love wearing a fun, pretty, girly dress every single day, but that doesn't mean it's for you, and that doesn't mean you have to dress that way to glow up or to be that girl. It means you have to be the best version of your own style. So if you're the type that wants to wear sweatpants every day, no shame. Wear sweatpants every single day, but there's a difference between wearing sweatpants like you look like you're about to go paint a house and wearing sweatpants like you're about to go out and show the world that I am amazing. And those looks are, again, very different. And it's easy to fall into that just lounging around the house, painting the house type vibes where you kind of just look like disheveled. You look disheveled, you look like you put no effort in, you look like you don't care about what you're wearing, and that makes a big difference in how approachable you are, how confident you feel, how easy it is to just have conversations out in the world and be noticed. And I know that sounds silly, but it's true. You would be surprised if you gave yourself a week of dressing the best version of yourself, how much of a difference it makes. Yes, at times I am overdressed for almost every single occasion, and I have no shame in it. You know how many times I get stopped in the street or by friends or by, acquaintances, and they're just like, oh my God, I love your outfit. You look so great right now, as they're like not dressed up. And I'm like, doesn't mean they have to be, but I want to be that. I want to stand out. I want to look like, oh my God, I put in so much effort. But it doesn't mean I have to put in a lot of effort. It just means you have to be more selective with things. So for you personally, you have to find ways of just putting in a little bit more effort, whether it's not wearing the wrinkled shirt or wearing something that's clean or it coordinates in color, whatever it is. I'm not sure what your personal style is, and maybe you're still discovering your personal style, but putting more effort into that and not just grabbing something out of the closet, but being like, oh, what do I want to wear for this occasion? What do I want to wear when I go out right now? Will make a big difference. And then you can accessorize whatever your style is. Maybe it's with jewelry or sunglasses or a scarf or a purse, whatever it is that adds a little something extra to your outfit. Maybe wearing a pop of color in your shoes. For me personally, personally lately, it has been simple gold jewelry that can just elevate the outfit a bit more, add something extra. And I do not plan on spending a lot of money on any of my jewelry or any of my accessories. I see nothing wrong in having investment pieces, but I also see nothing wrong in building a collection of affordable pieces. So I will also link down below in that playlist the gold jewelry that I've been buying recently. I got these bracelets right here, all from the same brand, and they have not been leaving any green marks or anything like that. And I have sensitive skin, so they have not been irritating anything. It's been great. They've been holding up really well. I just got this bracelet right here, and then these ones are a bit older. These two are my favorite, the watch and this bracelet right here. And sometimes they look a little like funky and all moving around, but I do think it adds a little bit extra to the outfit, so I will link those items down below. And if there's anything else that I talk about that I don't link, just let me know. I will try to find a link for you. Trying to add to it though, I'm building my own collection. I'm slowly working on my own glow up too. But then the next thing that I do is effortless makeup. So for me personally, I don't want to be wearing a full face of makeup every single day. I don't have the time. I can't keep up with it. I leave it on guys' shirts. I leave it on my food. I leave it smearing down my chin. So I do not wear makeup on a regular basis, but that doesn't mean that you can't. You have to find what works for yourself that you can keep up with and maintain. I know so many people, they're like, they can keep up and maintain it only when it's a special occasion. And I feel like you need something that you can be able to do every single day to keep up this certain look for yourself and being consistent with it. So for me personally, the easiest things that I do is I do a brow gel, because sometimes my brows be growing every single which way direction, even after I cut them. And especially between cutting and plucking, I find using that brow gel just helps keep everything in place. It's simple to do. But the other thing that I do is my lips. So for me personally, I have chronic dry lips all the time. So I can't regularly be wearing a lot of lip products. And in general, I feel like a lot of lip products, they're fun to use on occasion, but for a regular basis, it's not realistic a lot of times to wear lipsticks or lip glosses that are tinted, because it won't stay on all day. It's not a good base. And I feel like a good base would either be getting a lip tattoo, which is a little extreme, and I have not personally done that yet. I want to. It's kind of expensive though. But the next best thing I find is doing a lip stain that will last you a majority of the day. So no matter what lip products you want to wear, if you wear them or don't wear them, this is a base. Just like with the dyeing of the brows and all of that, it is a base for your every single day. So in the morning, I will put on the lip stain, and it lasts me basically the whole entire day. You kind of have to play with it based on your lips and if they're dry or anything like that, but you find what works best for you to have that base of color that makes it so it's not as washed out. Because if you were anywhere near as pale as I am, which I am as pale as a ghost, and no part of my glow up is not becoming tan, it's just, it doesn't work for my skin tone. But that point aside, having a base color that just helps your lips stand out a bit makes a big difference. And then let's get into the smell. If you were blessed with the BO gene like I was, I forget what its actual term name is. I did not realize this was a genetic thing that not everybody had. Thank you, family. But if you are blessed like I am, and when you sweat, it has a smell to it. And I don't mean like, oh, you kind of got sweaty today, I can kind of smell you sweating. No. I mean those people that stand there like, whoo. Yeah, that was me. I thought it was just I needed to stop sweating to stop smelling like that. They are not the same thing. The smell and the sweat are kind of separate, and we're going to talk about them separately. If you have that sweaty gene like I do, I need you to buy right now glycolic acid. And you're going to put glycolic acid on every single morning. Or maybe between the day, whatever it is, however much you need to do. I find as I've been using it more, I've been needing to use it less regularly. But according to those dermatologists on the internet, it removes the bacteria that causes the smell. And that bacteria supposedly is genetic. And I believe it because my mom has that smell, my grandpa has that smell, and it's a very iconic smell. And if you don't have it, you can ignore this part of it, or maybe you want to add it to it, maybe it'll help you. But if you don't have that iconic smell, you probably don't need it, but it allows it to remove that bacteria so you are not having that specific smell. It is not an antiperspirant. It is not going to stop you from sweating. So if you are as sweaty as I am, you are still going to want an antiperspirant, but this will allow the smell to go away. So even if you're getting sweaty as possible, because there are times you cannot stop yourself from being sweaty. You're going to be sweaty at the gym if you sweat. Like, that's just going to happen. So if I'm going to be sweaty, I'd rather not smell. And an antiperspirant only adds a little bit of like perfume-esque on top of it and maybe helps you sweat a little bit less, but it doesn't remove the bacterial element that causes that smell. So you're going to want to have that base of the glycolic acid. Then you're going to want to put a perspirant on top of it to slow some of the sweating and maybe add a little bit of an extra scent to it. And then you can also wear your daily perfume throughout the day. And I want to tell you right now, invest in a more expensive perfume or research the heck out of a cheap one, because you are going to spend more money on a cheap perfume because it is not going to last. You're going to have to reapply it throughout the day. It's going to kind of have this like alcohol-y smell to it, and it's going to fade. It's not going to age well throughout the day. So I would recommend investing in a bit more of expensive perfume up front, and I actually think it'll save you money in the long run. I personally have found something to add to it if you'd like to, and that is using a cocoa body oil. I got one recently, and I find it works a lot better for me personally than putting on lotion throughout the day. It adds a little bit of shimmer and glide to you. It can have a little bit of an oily feel to it because, well, it is an oil, but I like that shiny, shimmery, dewy look that it has, and it has a wonderful, fantastic smell that you can just all over your body. I think it smells fantastic. Just don't overdo it, or else again, you're gonna be gliding across the furniture. And also, if there's an area that is drier, it'll blend in a lot better. So don't overdo the product, but I definitely think that's an affordable thing to add to your perfumes. And if you're adding any kind of like oil or Vaseline on top of your perfume or lotion, it'll help seal in that perfume and last longer throughout the day. Because if we have our high maintenance routine to be low maintenance on a regular basis, and we do those things on a daily basis that just elevate us a little bit, we're smelling good, we're dressing good, we're accessorizing, you are going to be so shocked by how much of a difference those things make, because you get in those moments where you're kind of discouraged and you're a little bit self-conscious, or you're in this state where you're like, there's nothing I can do without this, or that, because maybe you think that you need to spend money on this surgery, or you need to do this, or you need to be a completely different person, or you need to not be pale, you need to not have a gap, whatever it is. You get in those mindsets where you fixate on things that maybe you can't change easily, that you forget there's plenty of things you can change while you're still being yourself. You're just being the best version of yourself. You're elevating who you already are. And that is one of the most wonderful things that I think brings a lot of confidence and a lot of self-control back. You feel like you actually have control over your life, how you feel, how people see you. But it doesn't mean you can't do some of those bigger changes if you want to, but I think you have to be confident at no matter what stage of the glow up you are going through, because you have to remember confidence really is one of the most sexy and empowering things you can be, and you have to be that no matter if you are at the beginning of glowing up to be the best version of yourself, or if you are at the end, even though I don't really think there ever is an end. You feel like once I become this certain thing, that will be it, but it's really not. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing those bigger things as long as it's not coming from a place of insecurity or from a place of feeling like you have to do it for others. You have to do it for yourself, similarly to like a tattoo or a piercing, as long as it's for just, I don't know, fun. Like, that sounds horrible, like you shouldn't do surgeries and body modifications for fun, but at the same time, I kind of think that is the reason you should be doing that. You should do it because it's something you think you would enjoy, and you've weighed the pros and cons of it and the risks, and you're like, I think it's worth it for me personally. You have to, again, look within yourself and choose what's important, because there's plenty of people that think, oh, you should change that nose, you should change that chin, you should change this because you should meet this specific box. We are not building a copy and paste person. We are building the best version of ourselves. So you have to look within and decide your priorities. For me personally, I have done a few body modifications, and I don't think there's anything wrong with doing them or not doing them as long as it's coming from the right place. And for me personally, one of my first ones I ever did was my skin. I still struggle a bit with my skin. I have hormonal acne, but I ended up taking the plunge and doing Accutane. And Accutane is a pretty serious drug regimen, but it was something that I felt like I needed personally to have the baseline to be able to take care of my skin and have it at a healthy level, because I'm also a picker. I pick the heck out of acne. So I felt like Accutane was the best bet for me, but it might not be the best bet for you if you have acne. And it also might not even be a route you can afford to do because it's really expensive without insurance. I personally had insurance at the time that would cover it, so it made sense to do it, and I do not regret it one bit. It was an investment. My skin looked horrible for a long time before Accutane and during it, because during Accutane, it's a little bit of a brutal process. Your whole entire skin is drying out and flaking and looking horrible, but it's only like that for a short period of time for a long-term benefit, and that was one of the ones that I think it was the most worth it. And then the other body modifications I did were my boobs. I feel like it was a way of fitting better in clothes and being, like, again, the best version of what I wanted to be. I love boobs, TMI, but like I love boobs and I wanted some of my own. And so I did that. But if you want to learn more about all the body modifications I have done, including tattoos and everything, I will link the video down below because I did a whole video on my body modifications. But I do not think you need to do any of those extreme things like surgeries or drug regimens if you don't want to. If you don't think it's right for you, I still think you can glow up and be the best version of yourself if you also incorporate a lifestyle change. And we went over that a little bit in the idea of having a routine that allows you to be low maintenance, but I also think a very, very important one is having a lifestyle that allows you to keep moving, get outside, and be social. And you have to find what works best for you. I find as adults, a lot of people lean into things like sports or religion and religion activities. I think that's a weird way of saying it, but you get what I mean. But personally, I'm not religious. I'm horrible at sports. I have no sense of coordination. So I found the best thing that worked for me, and I've slowly been implementing into my life, and I love the change that I made, is going to workout classes. I pay for a cheap gym membership at LA Fitness, and I go to their group classes. The group classes allow me to be social, get out of my house. I work from home, so I have a bad tendency of being at home too much, so it allows me to get outside, and it keeps my body moving, and it's fun because I don't think any crash diet or working out just to lose weight is going to work in most cases. You see it all the time. People start something, but they can't keep it up because it's a chore. It's not a fun lifestyle thing that you do on a regular basis. And that's why a lot of times sports work for people. And when they get out of high school, it's like, oh, I'm not playing those sports anymore. And they, start to gain weight. They start to not be as happy or as social because they don't have that thing that pushes them towards those activities. But you can find sports as an adult. There are plenty of group teams. It should not feel like a chore. Yes, some days it might be a little bit harder to go. And that's why we built a routine that keeps us accountable. But at the same time, on a regular basis, it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm like, oh yay, I get to go to my workout class. I get to go see this girl that's in my class. I get to go do this, maybe go have dinner afterwards, whatever it is. It makes me excited to do those things. And on the tough weeks, I have the accountability aspect. I have, oh, I know that girl's gonna expect me to be in class. If I'm not there, someone's gonna be asking me next week, like, where were you? Or someone might be texting me, whatever it is, it keeps me accountable. And it makes me think, oh, dang it, I can't miss my Wednesday class. Unless it's for something that's also super fun. I do miss my classes on occasion for social things, but it has to be worth missing my routine that keeps me out of the house, social and active. And on that note, when it comes to being social, I also think that is a big part of glowing up and being that girl and standing out in a crowd is having common courtesy and being social and socializing with those around you. And I know that might not be for everybody, but I think it makes a big difference if you do those small little things throughout the day, whether it's smiling at the person across the room. It doesn't mean like flirting or trying to make friends at all times, but it just means being friendly because you never know how much your smile can make a difference in someone's day. And I know that sounds cheesy and everybody talks about it, but it really does make a difference. Show the joy on the outside and help other people feel it too. Open up a door for someone. If you see someone carrying a lot of stuff, hold that door a little bit longer. Whatever it is that can help make someone else's day a little bit better, it'll also make your day a heck of a lot better too. And I also think a lot more blessings come in life when you share the blessings with others around you. And I just think overall it makes you a better person, and it also makes the world a better place. And again, that sounds cheesy, but not everything about a glow up is aesthetics. Not everything everything is about how you look. It's about how you feel and how you come across to others, and your warmth and your happiness and your friendliness can make the biggest difference over anything you're gonna do looks-wise. Because come on, if you see someone on the street in the worst outfit ever, maybe fitting the exact opposite of the beauty standard, but they are friendly and nice and their energy just pours out of them, that makes such a big difference. And that is something you can do with no money, no time, but probably a lot of effort, because on our hard days, it's hard to do those little extra things, but it makes a big difference. And I think if you grow up in a small town, you learn those things a little bit more than maybe a city, because I feel like people say that to me all the time. They're like, you don't seem like you're from LA because you do these little things, but it doesn't mean I'm perfect at all, because there are plenty of times that I act like a Karen in a store, and I try not to, but we all have our bad days. We all have our days where we're not perfect, but as long as we're trying and we're putting effort in and we're realizing those things make a difference, it makes a difference in our glow up. So if you haven't realized already from this video, I am not a stereotypical 10. I'm not the perfect girl, that girl, the glow up version of your dreams, and no one is. It is not one workout routine, one fast, one makeup thing, one clothing thing, one whatever it is. It is not going to make you glow up or be the best version of yourself. That is a lifestyle change. It is not going to happen overnight. And that might sound depressing because you're like, oh, I can't watch this video and follow these steps and then all of a sudden tomorrow I'm going to be the best version of myself. But that's not how you should look at it. What you should look at it as, every single day you have the opportunity to be a better and better version of yourself. It's not a destination, it is a journey. And yes, that sounds cheesy as heck to say, but it is true. And if you make it a lifestyle change and you slowly start implementing these routines into your life, you are going to be so much happier and healthier, and you're going to be able to keep up with it. It's not going to be something you're going to have for a week and then you're going to lose it. You get to keep it forever. Just figure out what matters for you. Even on those tough days where it seems like nothing could go right, you're depressed as heck, and maybe you feel like nothing is working for you, those are opportunities. They're opportunities to look within yourself and realize what's important to you so you know how to make changes in the future. And that is enough irony and cheesiness for the day. I will link down below the playlist of specific products I use that might work for you, but again, you gotta trial and error for yourself. And then I'll also link down below some other videos I mentioned throughout this video, and I post a new video every single Wednesday helping you figure out adulting while I'm attempting to figure it out myself, because no one really has it figured out. And I would really appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe button down below. Those videos will be coming out and they will help you even more in the future. So have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, whatever it is for you. I'll see you Wednesday.